William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Author's Guide to Murder, a novel by Beatriz Williams, Lauren Willig, and Karen White. Performed by Angus King, Saskia Maarleveld, Brittany Pressley, and Lisa Flanagan. To the people of Scotland, we're sorry. And thanks for the plaid.
Prologue. Kinloch Castle, 10th of December 2022. A murder is reported. Detective Chief Inspector Euan McIntosh had never seen a crime scene like this one before. Torches guttered in iron holders along the walls of the octagonal chamber, illuminating the body of a man, dressed in little more than strategic strips of black leather, sprawled face down in a puddle of something that gleamed pale and sticky. The sickly sweet scent made Euan feel like retching. Or that could just be the sheer amount of punch he'd consumed at the Kinloch Ceilidh last night. Did it count as last night if one hadn't been to bed yet? Erotic tapestries lined the walls. Europa, pursued by a bull. Leda, in the process of being ravished by a swan. The torchlight glinted off bare breasts, reaching arms, arched necks, and the bare buttocks of the man splayed on the floor. A pseudo-medieval chalice, enormous, inlaid with rough-cut jewels, lay where it must have fallen from the man's outstretched hand, spilling its honeyed contents. A stag's head lolled on the flagstones next to the body, lopsided due to the loss of a branch of antlers on the left. The inspector didn't need to ask what had happened to the missing antler. It was protruding from the back of the man lying on the floor, into which it had been shoved with considerable force. No chance of natural death here. Euan repressed the urge to curse. His first murder since returning to Kinloch, and it couldn't be a simple brawl at the pub gone terribly wrong. A sheep bleated, nosing at the puddle spreading out around the corpse. A stern-faced man in a kilt tugged the sheep away. "Dinna you be drinking that, Beatrice? You don't know where it's been." Callum MacDougall, Gilly, general factotum at Castle Kinloch, employed by the man who now lay face down in a pool of mead, wearing what looked like a woman's dominatrix costume. Euan gestured at the body. "I take it that's the novelist." "Aye." American. Had written a book Euan hadn't bothered to read because it sounded like Ponzi nonsense. Rented out the castle for writers' retreats at Castle Kinloch. Euan had never met the man, but he'd seen his face on the posters the man had plastered across the island. He didn't look like his poster now. "I've rung the medical examiner," said Callum, expressionlessly. Euan felt bile rise in his throat. And not just because of the scene before him. Euan had seen all sorts of brutality during his time with the Met in London. Gun violence, knife violence, brass-knuckled violence. But those had been simple crimes compared to this. And there, the suspects weren't people he'd known from a boy. "You found the body?" Euan asked, brusquely. "That'd be me nan." Callum looked sideways at Euan. "Or would you be needing her full name for the record, Chief Inspector?" "Where is Mrs. MacDougall?" Euan asked. "I'll need to speak to her, for the record." "At the castle. I sent her back to get warm. She was fair fast, as you may imagine." Euan followed Callum through a tunnel that led from the freestanding tower, a landmark on Kinloch.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?